What is the accounting of purchase order? Purchase order, no direct accounting impact. A purchase order is a crucial step in the procurement process, but it doesn't immediately affect a company's financial statements. Think of it as an internal commitment, a formal request to a vendor. Creation of a purchase order: when a company decides to buy goods or services, they issue a purchase order to the vendor. This document details what's being bought, the quantity, agreed upon price, and delivery instructions. At this stage, the company hasn't received anything, nor has it incurred a liability that needs to be recorded in the general ledger. It's more of an authorization and a contract. Vendor receives PO and ships goods. Once the vendor receives and accepts the purchase order, they prepare to fulfill it. This often involves picking, packing, and shipping the ordered items. Even at this point, while goods are in transit, the buyer's accounting records typically remain unchanged. The buyer hasn't yet taken possession of the goods. Goods receipt: this is where the first potential accounting event related to the PO might occur. When the goods arrive at the buyer's location, they are inspected and received. A goods receipt document is often created confirming that the items listed on the PO have been delivered. The accounting impact: if the items are inventory, at this point, the company typically records an increase in its inventory asset account. Accounting impact: if the items are not inventory, the expense might be recognized upon receipt or when the invoice is processed, depending on the company's accounting policies. However, a liability is not typically recorded until the invoice is received. Invoice receipt: after the goods have been shipped and often received, the vendor sends an invoice to the buyer. This document formally requests payment for the goods or services provided, referencing the original purchase order. Accounting impact: upon receiving a valid invoice that matches the goods received, the company records a liability in its accounting system. This is typically done by debiting an expense account and crediting accounts payable. This is the point where the transaction officially hits the general ledger as a financial obligation. Payment processing: finally, the company processes the payment to the vendor according to the terms on the invoice. This typically involves cutting a check or initiating an electronic funds transfer. Accounting impact: when the payment is made, the company debits accounts payable and credits cash. This clears the outstanding obligation. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Zeeshan Hawk Reviews for more tutorials on D365 finance and supply chain management.